Okay, we are here today to talk all things Boise, Idaho, and of course, surrounding areas. So we have Kirsten here. Kirsten, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more. I say Boise, but tell us a little bit more about the area that you serve.
So we are in the Boise metro area. So that's, it's not really large up here. So Boise, you have, Boise proper, and then you have a ton of cities surrounding. You have Meridian, you have Eagle, you have Cuna, Middleton, Caldwell, Nampa. So everything, when you look at it on the map, it looks like it's really far away, but it truly from here to downtown is less than 20 minutes. So it's really not a huge area, but there's a lot of really great cities surrounding it.
Okay. And where are people mostly moving there from?
The majority of the people that are coming into the Boise area, I will say Oregon, Washington, and of course California. There's quite a few people coming from California. So those are the three main ones. We do see people coming from Texas. We do see some coming from Florida. Don't ask me why people would want to move from like the Sunshine State all the way out here where we do have 4 seasons, but maybe that's the reason why they're moving here.
Yeah, I don't know how you could get tired of, warm, balmy weather, but I guess there are people that do.
Well,
So,
having lived in different areas where there's been warm and of course cold, I mean, 4 seasons,
yeah.
there's something to be said for it. I mean, we had 5 degrees this morning when we woke up, but right now I look outside and it's blue skies, and I think we're probably hitting around 20 right now. So it's a great day.
Oh, it's practically summer.
Yeah, right.
And what are people looking for when they're moving to Boise area? I mean, what is it that's drawing people there?
You know, some people come here to retire. It's a little bit slower paced. It's definitely a better quality of life in many aspects. What I find that most people talk to us about is the fact that people are nice here and it's a slower pace. So, for example, when you go to the store, I don't know how it's like for you when you go to the store down by you, but here I can go to the grocery store. A person can be coming out the door and actually asking me, "Hey, how are you doing?" and expecting an answer and really truly care about you. And they want to have you to answer it. It's really, a really friendly state. And I think what people are moving here for is, without going all political and stuff, it's a place where people can align with what their beliefs are. So if they want to have a little bit more, say in how their life is, I think this is definitely a place to be. And overall, it's just, good quality of life.
Okay. And are they going there for the outdoorsiness? Are they going there for jobs? What else is bringing them there?
Some people are coming here for jobs. I think we saw a huge increase of people coming here specifically during the pandemic, where people had the chance to work from home. So there was actually a huge growth spurt in the area that came from areas such as, the Silicon Valley. For example, our next door neighbors, they were in the Bay Area and they moved up here about 4 years ago or so, and they work from home. They still work in California, but they live up here, and now they just had child number two, and it's just that whole, I don't think they're going to go back. Just because now they're raising their family here and they're still in a position where they can work from here and not having to go down there. Other people, as I said, they want to come here for retirement. They want to come here for the outdoors. I mean, there's so many things to do here outdoors. If you don't like the outdoors, Idaho is probably not the place for you. But if you like, biking, hiking, skiing, anything to do with being on the outdoors side of things,
Yeah.
that's just kind of ingrained in how people are here.
Yeah. And
It
I mean,
doesn't
I
matter
think
that
it's,
it's,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. It doesn't matter that it's 20 degrees out. I have already seen 5 people running in my neighborhood.
Right. Yeah.
People won't care. You just bundle up.
Well, and it's high desert, so it's a little bit different of a climate from what maybe people are used to. But I love that you have a lot of those features. You have lakes that you can go explore, beautiful hiking, snow, obviously you have there, but it doesn't snow too much, right? You drive about an hour to resorts typically for skiing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things.
So we have Bogus Basin, which is just about an hour from us. Not even an hour, but all depending on what the traffic is and what the weather's doing on the mountain, because they don't really clear the way in some of the other mountainous areas. So there's of course ice on the road. So you got to know how to drive in that. And that's another thing, people that are moving here, if they don't, know how to deal with the weather, it takes them a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. But having Bogus Basin, which has like 90 different runs, 10 chairs going up and
Wow.
down the mountain. Yeah, it's like there's something for everybody. So if you want to, ski the backside, or if you want to ski on a groom slope, I mean, you have it here, and it's only an hour away from downtown Boise. It's amazing.
That's incredible. So I went to Boise actually a few years ago, pre-pandemic. So maybe 2019, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly, because I had so many clients moving there. I really wanted to see it for myself, right? I mean, it was especially 2019 through 2022, we saw an influx of people from my market in California in the Bay Area relocating. And although it's probably calmed down a little bit, I really wanted to do that research and I fell in love with it out there. I'm so excited to bring my family back to go for adventures and go hiking. I mean, some of the lakes out there, you can touch on this, but some of the lakes out there are just out of this world beautiful.
It's absolutely breathtaking. You can go, any direction, and there will be mountains, and there will be, rivers. I mean, we got the Snake River, we got Boise River, we got the Greenbelt, we got, we actually took a drive out to Idaho City just about a week or so ago, and it was snow on the road, and of course it's like windy roads, and it's just like winter wonderland, right? And
Yeah.
and then there were other parts where it's like, oh, okay, this is just kind of like plain, like not so much, but it's just breathtaking. We
Yeah.
absolutely love it here. And I think when people move here or even visit, like you said, right? When you visit, you get that calm about you when you're seeing what's around you. It's not that hustle and bustle of being in a big metro city. It's a
Right.
little bit more calm. And, I think that's really what attracts a lot of people to Boise.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of that, I also really took notice in the new construction there and the kind of the communities that are being built. And I'll say communities because I've never seen this personally where I am, but a lot of the new construction developments also have restaurants built into it or even their own dedicated school. So is this something that you're seeing more and more out there? I mean, granted, it's been, 3, almost 4 years since I've been there. So how is that still today in this market?
So new construction is definitely still going on. It's of course slowed just a tad bit with the market shifting. But in terms of the infrastructure, making sure you have the schools, making sure you have the shops, making sure you kind of have the infrastructure to support all these people that are here. Highway 16, it usually, you can access it just north of us, right? But now they're actually connecting it all the way down to the freeway, which is amazing because now that will take some of that traffic that are over on Eagle Road, which is really the main road back and forth. It will take a lot of traffic off of it because now people have a different route to take to go up to some of those communities that were built, in Star, in Eagle, Northwest Meridian, so to speak. So that really helps a lot. But indeed, having these master built communities, but having the schools, having the shopping involved, it's good because otherwise it could take you about half an hour to go back into town to get groceries or go to schools or, do something.
Yeah. And it seems really well thought out, which I think is incredible and not something we always see in California. We see build it and then we'll figure it out later. Infrastructure in Boise, in my experience, was top tier. I mean, the road conditions were amazing. Safety is high up there. I've never seen a downtown as clean as I experienced in Boise. And I tell this story a lot, but I always find it funny because on my first trip out there, I was with someone and they said, "Oh, but be careful. You don't really want to hang out by Boise River near dusk." And I was like, "Ooh, crime? Like you want to avoid?" They're like, "No, mosquitoes." And it kind of took me aback a little bit because I'm going, "Oh, like nature. It's not, you're
Yeah.
not fearing, any of those concerns. And so I think having that mentality of being near big cities and experiencing what big cities can sometimes have as their biggest faults, I just had the assumption going to visit there that it was going to be exactly the same thing. And I was so pleasantly surprised by the culture there and by just the diversity, especially in downtown, that I actually saw. I was a little shocked, to be honest.
Downtown
So it was great.
is downtown is amazing because it's just large enough, but also small and quaint. And it's walkability, right? You have so many great
Right.
restaurants that are located down there, little bars, little shops. I mean, it's just, you walk down there and you feel really calm. And I keep using this word calm, but that's really truly how you feel when you're in Boise, because it's just so different than any of these big cities. I mean, we lived all over the US, right? So haven't had the opportunity to live in this, down in the Cold Springs area, just north of Miami, right? We've been down there. We've been in Houston. We've been in Los Angeles, and now here. And it's just one of those things that I don't mind going downtown. I love going downtown. I couldn't say the
Yes.
same for some of the other areas that we lived in. So
Yes,
this is definitely,
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit more about housing. So, granted, okay, we are in the end of January 2023, just for anyone watching this. So, we're going to talk about the market, what we're seeing right now, but it doesn't mean it's going to be the same when someone watches this again. But what does the real estate market look like right now? What kind of decreases have you seen over the last 6 months? And what kind of opportunities are out there for buyers?
So we've definitely seen a bit of a decrease in terms of home prices. We had 2 months, like November and December, we definitely saw a price drop, but it wasn't any more than 8% total year over year. However, if you're looking at the overall December to December, I mean, we're still up. We have an average price right now about 615 for the area for Ada County. But again, it all depends on what you're looking for. Are you only looking for single family, or you're also looking for condos, townhouses, right? Now, also, you have to remind, like, people that are maybe watching this need to know that all of our new construction is actually going to be in the MLS. So you're going to see what's on the market. So that 615 is including all those houses that they're building in the 7, 8, 9, over a million even. There are these type of properties out there. So they're going to be part of that 615 number. But if you're looking for just existing home builds, the average price or median price right now is 569. So it's definitely down a little bit. But overall, I would say that, we are still in a good position. We were out showing yesterday. There's definitely buyers still out, or actually starting to come out. I think they started about 2 weeks ago when the rates start coming down a little bit. All of a sudden they're like, okay, this hiatus is over. We're going to go ahead and start looking because we don't want to lose out. And there were some houses that had quite a few, but again, it depends on the price range, right? And then there were some that, they may only had a couple. But we are indeed seeing a lot more activity. And, we're in the middle of winter here. I mean, I talked to you about what the temperatures are like. And yes, we had snow on the ground on Saturday, but that didn't keep people from going out on Sunday, right? I mean, the weather doesn't really matter. If you need to buy a house, you'll buy a house. So looking at the overall market, I think we're in a much better position that what some of the media tend to put out there. And again, we got to remember, media is all about clickbaits, right? That they want to get something, they want you to click on their article, and that's how they get paid now. So unfortunately, it's kind of like that negative part. But overall, the prices have not dropped, and we're not looking in a situation where you're not going to have some sort of equity. Because looking back to 2018, I think the average price point up here was around 318, and now I'm talking to you about like 569 for the existing. So guess what? You're not going to be in a position where you're going to be losing a ton of money. You're still going to make money if you have to sell or get out, right? So it's just one of those situations where, however you look at the data, that really comes down to it at the end of the day. But that's why, having us being able to sit and talk about it and figure out what the market is really truly doing and not just like reading the headlines, that will help you.
Agreed, 100%. And I mean, I think buyers are coming back. There's more confidence in the market again. So it should stabilize things, right? It should just kind of counteract the declines that we've seen over the last several months and just bring it back to average growth, which is normal, right?
Yeah, so I think right now, I think on inventory, I think we were at 2.6 or 2.7 months of inventory. So we're not even close to a balanced market. It's still a slight seller's market here. But again, now, we have to educate our sellers more so than any time because of, buyers are being a little bit more brazen when they're putting, offers in. They're asking for everything under the sun. They're coming in low on a price, or they're coming in asking for repairs. Like, could you imagine a year ago asking for repairs? They'll be like, yeah, next, give me the next offer, right? Because they had
look at the 10 others. Yeah,
exactly. So, concessions, paying down the rate, the rate is definitely one of the things that people are concerned about, but I think we're good.
What do you think the future, at least of 2023, what do you think the future holds for your market?
I think we're going to see, actually see an increase of people coming here. We work a lot with agents from all over the country, and specifically California and even Washington. And there are definitely people looking to move here. We do have some big companies that are expanding. I mean, Meta, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Facebook. Meta. They're actually putting a data center in here. Now, is this going to be some of these high paying jobs? I'm not certain, but they're expanding to here to put this data center in. We have Micron, which already has a huge facility just south of us, down in the southeast Boise. They're going in and putting an even bigger investment into the area. And that's going to bring, I think, the last I saw, I think we're going to get about another 2,000 jobs into the area specifically for Micron. So there's definitely a lot of growth going on. Restaurants, I'm getting like updates every single week about what's happening about restaurants. And of course, during COVID, a lot closed, right? Unfortunately, I mean, like anywhere in the country. But we're seeing new restaurants pop up, whether they be coming back into the market, maybe they closed down for a while, or new restaurants altogether. I mean, we just opened up Topgolf just 10 minutes away from here. Granted, it's a smaller Topgolf. There's only 2 levels, but it is open. And it's one of those things that if these companies didn't think that there was a future here in the Boise market, they wouldn't be investing all this money in here.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. And that's usually the best indicator, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's amazing to me. And the healthcare industry there is pretty big, is it not?
Yeah, we do have St. Luke's, St. Al's. We have a big Blue Cross here. So I mean, the whole healthcare infrastructure here is really large, and there's definitely a lot of healthcare. One of our good friends, she's a nurse here, and they're definitely still very, very busy, and they're seeing an influx of people coming in too. But again, we're a growing market, right? So with a growing market comes more people. So you need more people to support it. So it's a good thing, because that means the market is not going to slow down for us. We are starting to also, going back to the market specifically, seeing a lot of people, seeing a lot of companies building, apartment buildings, duplexes, fourplexes. So it's a little bit more affordable, because if you're getting a regular job, I mean, now you're going to be able to, the 615, is that really, like the 615 price point, is that really a great price point to be in if you're lower end on the income, on the wage? But wages, they are starting to come up some. They're not like some of the other cities, for example, down in Los Angeles, where they're quite high because the cost of living is so high.
Yeah. I mean, add, 400,000 at minimum for the average price point, and that'll do it. So as far as what people can expect on pricing, I know you touched on the median prices, but what about an entry level price point in these areas? What can someone expect?
You can get anywhere from the low threes to mid fours, and you will still get something really, really nice. It all depends on where you're looking. Are you looking to go downtown where, it depends on the area, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can probably get something for 350 in downtown area or closer to downtown, like in Boise Bench. However, it may not be in a nice neighborhood, so to speak, in terms of all the houses are completely updated and the yards are looking pristine. So that's what I'm saying about the neighborhood. Whereas if you're going into a new construction type build and, the whole neighborhood is just looking immaculate, right? That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying that they may not be as nice. However, with this turnover and people buying and upgrading and making it, nicer each time, that does help with the turn in the neighborhoods.
Okay. And as far as what to expect when someone is looking there, I mean, I know this answer, but I love to talk about it. What can someone expect as far as what types of homes are offered there? I mean, are there a lot of options for big sprawling land? Is it mainly just residential, a little bit smaller communities? What do you see there the most?
So you get a little bit of everything. You can get, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 10-bedroom, 5-bath. It's all here. If you're looking in Eagle, that's a very, very nice place to live. A lot of people actually from California like to move to Eagle, and we sometimes hear that it's very comparable to California, but the prices are also a little bit higher because with that comes that price tag, right? But all depending on where you go. Nice family home, you might be on a lot of 8,000 square feet with maybe 25 to 2,800 square feet on the home. But one of the things up here that you're going to see a lot is there's all these bonus rooms, right? So you might get a loft, or you may get that extra bonus room, but it's not really sold as such, right? It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath with a bonus. So in essence, It's a 4-bedroom because all depending on how it's set up.
I love it. That's amazing. Yeah. And are there a lot of condos and townhomes? I'm assuming mainly in downtown.
There are some downtown that they're building, and then also some that they're actually building right here in Meridian where we're located, and they are close to all of the shopping areas. So we have the Village not too far from here, and it's this huge. I don't know, was the Village here? I'm trying to remember if it was here when you were here.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when it was built.
Wait, in Meridian? Did you say
Meridian?
It's in Meridian?
Yeah.
It was there.
Yeah, and they're now starting to build around it. So they're actually putting in both condos, townhouses, but also apartment buildings. And, it's kind of making it a little bit, again, this whole walkability, because, you have Meridian, which is, typically considered a sleeper town, right, compared to going downtown Boise, but it's starting to put its own little footprint on the map with having this big village with a bunch of different restaurants, a lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of events for the community. I mean, everyone goes to the village for one thing or another. And it's great because all these community events brings everyone together. But now they're starting to build a little bit more of affordable housing right around it. So, there's definitely an opportunity for people that are not quite ready for home ownership in terms of a big lot and yard and house that they can go into a townhome or a condo.
Okay. And that actually leads me to my next question of the rental market there. So if someone's looking to buy an investment property, or they're looking to relocate there and not necessarily own, what is the rental market like?
We don't deal a lot with the rental market. We know that there's definitely a lot of people that have bought investment property. There's a lot of Airbnbs here. And it's one of those things that if you were already here in the area, we always kind of recommend, being in the city where you buy your investment property, so you at least can keep an eye on it. But also because we have the various weather, and you need have, a good property manager if you're going to be investing, especially in an area where we have snow, ice, and potentially
Yeah.
leaks and ice on the roof that can come down and hit people, and all those fun
Yeah.
things, right?
All the fun stuff.
All
Yeah.
the fun stuff that people don't think about.
Mhm.
But the rental market is still fairly strong here. We do have in all of the neighborhoods, people that are renting.
Okay.
Because they might be here for a short period of time. They might be here for a job that's short term, or they might just, be in that position that they want to rent so they can figure out where they want to buy.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, it's not a huge market, at least in your edge of things, but it definitely exists.
Yeah, it definitely exists. And I think you're going to see it more so, downtown. I mean, you can get a tutu for about 1,000 square feet that runs anywhere from 1,200 to 600, but it depends on the location. If you're looking
Okay.
like at a house for like 2,500 square feet, it runs about $3,500 here in Meridian.
Wow. So substantial pricing on the rent.
Yeah, especially compared to what you may be used to in California, because I mean, rents have gone up everywhere, but now they're kind of taking a little slight downturn as well, because what we're finding, a lot of the people, would have one unit and one person or a couple people together, but now people are starting to pool together to kind of save on the rent. So now you're going to have a little bit more inventory available, and within more inventory, well, the prices go down a little bit because all of a sudden the landlord wants to get this property leased out, right? So whatever it takes to get them in to cover their nuts, so to speak.
Yeah, completely. Okay, Kirsten. So what is your biggest piece of advice if someone is looking to move to Boise or the surrounding areas? What advice would you give them first and foremost?
Number one, come visit, because you want to come both in the winter, but you also want to come in the summer. We get warm, we get dry. We are kind of in a mountain range where we do get, there are wildfires everywhere, right up and down this coast. So it does get kind of sucked in here in this area in the summertime if there is a wildfire. So if you're not keen on that, if you're not keen on the 4C, I mean, you definitely want to come check it out when there's snow on the ground, because that you will fall in love with. But can you live with it long term? So don't just come right before Christmas when we do have snow. Come when it's January, February, where people are a little bit more like, okay, we're ready for spring.
Yeah, they've been in it for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So we always recommend come to visit first, because if you don't visit, if you're just saying, oh, I just want to move there because I've seen these videos, well, you might be in for a surprise for something that you may not like. Be prepared.
Yeah,
the weather is definitely a thing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, fun question for you. So what are a few spots that you would recommend as far as restaurants go?
There are several. If you like Italian, Il Sugo is actually located right here in Meridian, and it is some of the best Italian food that we have had. So shout out to Il Sugo. They're right over on McMillan. If you want to go downtown, we like 10 Barrel. I think there's a couple 10 Barrels actually in California too. So if you like burgers and beer, yeah, that's definitely a cool place. Of course, there are chain restaurants here too, but we tend to go to restaurants that are a little bit more, native, so to speak, one-offs instead of supporting these big chains.
I love it. I'm in 100% agreement there. So we're in the same boat. Well, thank you so much for your time. Please tell everyone how to find you if they want to get in touch.
So if you want to find us, you can find us on our website, powellfinehomesgroup.com. On Instagram, we are at Move Me to Idaho with the number 2 instead of TO. So if you see it on the screen, you'll see that it has the number 2 in there. And of course, do you want me to give my phone number? I can certainly do so.
No, it's okay. We'll put your info.
We'll add all that up there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
So we'll put your info in the notes below. But if someone wants to get in touch with Kirsten, definitely let me know, or you can reach out. I will have her tagged in this video. Kirsten, stay around for just 1 second. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more content that is about relocation, definitely check out my playlist, and I will see you soon.